Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. In front of me I have a 2019 GMC Terrain SLE. This one here that we have in front of us is done in a steel blue metallic color, which fits a very nice, kind of like a dark navy blue metallic. This is the second generation GMC Terrain. This has been out since 2009, and this was actually refreshed and redone in 2018, so this is the second year of that refresh. So it's in a very nice SUV, of course a nice mid-size kind of crossover SUV. Coming around here, guys, we'll take a quick look around. Of course we got 17-inch wheels, body color mirrors. So it's a really nice SUV. Of course you got a bit of a chrome trim here in the front that kind of has a nice design here. Here's our SLE badge that we have with us here. So this is a front wheel drive model, which is not a ton of options, but it's a nice SUV for every day. This one is powered by the 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. Obviously you have 3 engine choices with the Terrain. That's the base engine, the 1.5 liter. You have a 1.6 liter turbocharged diesel engine, which is kind of odd. I think it's only done in this type of, this is the only, probably the only mid-size SUV offering a diesel power in an engine, so a diesel power engine. And of course you got the little higher 252 horsepower higher performing 2 liter engine inline four. So it's all basically all 4 cylinders from 2 gas and 1 diesel power. So you got different choices, depends on the model and what are your needs. So this is front wheel drive, so just basically going front to wheel chicken, and you also can get it on all wheel drive. Here you got some LED daytime running lights. You got a projector xenon light for the nighttime. You see a little bit of GMC logo there, and got a little bit of chrome around here, some of the accents. And of course the grille has us around in the front. Of course the chrome surround, and of course the GMC badge here up front. And I mean, it's a basic interior. There's no fog lights or anything like that for this model, so more of a basic basic trim for this Terrain. So coming around here, we're going to take our key, which is a bit more of a base key. This doesn't have any type of automatic opening, so we're going to go back and we are just going to go press this, and this is kind of just going up here with ourselves. Pretty good sized room. Obviously this has got plenty of room. It's a little bit kind of looks like a little wider SUV. Plenty of room. Of course you got here some floor mats that come with this model. Of course you got a bit of hooks here. I don't see any type of other connections. These are for your seats up here, because you can see here those can get pulled down, as you can see, and these are actually for both. We do have a 12-volt connection here for your accessories, and of course there are some hooks here as well. Here at the bottom, of course, you can lift this up, and we got a little bit extra storage here. As you can see, you can lift this whole thing up. And of course we do have a we do have a spare tire here. It's a space saver tire. Of course you got your jacket and everything back here, so at least that's nice that you have a spare tire, since most of the new SUVs don't come with anything anymore. But plenty of space. I'll put some of those space dimensions here on the screen for you guys. So this kind of split like around 80-20 or 60-40, depending how you look at it. So at least the seats can go down. You have a lot of space to put things in the back, things in here. And but unfortunately, of course, this is being a base model, doesn't have any here, as you can see, it's for the button. Of course, if you get a higher trim, you're gonna get the automatic door, but this doesn't have it. So all right, guys, let's put this down. Let's grab it here and get this down here. So you're checking out the back of the GMC Terrain. Of course, you got some soft imitation leather here. Of course, it's kind of a copper stitching here as part of the design. A little bit of looks like a soft, some sort of plastic or wood trim, wood looking type of trim. Of course, you got some little pockets here, an extra pocket here, a little bit more for your drinks, for a speaker there. So here in the back we have basically this is an option up with a cloth trim or cloth seats. This kind of cloth with looks like some copper or orangey type of trim, as you can see here. It's not bad looking at all. Of course you got your floral roll mats here in the back. Of course, we just put the seat up. We do have a center armrest to put your drinks and your elbows for resting. Here in the back we got some openings for the air conditioning and 2 USB connections here. So at least you have, even though it's kind of the second base model, you do have some AC at least coming back here, and some connections for your rear passengers. So let's jump in real quick. I already have the seat here where I'm sitting, and there's plenty of space. It's really roomy back here. As you can see, I still got a couple of inches there of space. I'm about 5'11", and coming up here, guys, so there's plenty of headspace here. It's nice gray interior. I mean a nice gray roof here, and of course the seats here. That's not bad. There's plenty of room. Let's go ahead and put the seat up. So as you can see, they got It's a really they feel like kind of like a cloth suede. They have a very grippy type of service, and they feel pretty rugged. This GMC, as we said guys, here in this one's got 96,000 miles in it. So it is well used terrain, but it still feels, I mean, it doesn't feel bad. I mean, there's not much usage to it. It feels pretty nicely maintained, you know, and it's a nice interior. It's a basic interior, but it's very nice. You know, you got some pockets here, as you can see, and it's a very nice and roomy SUV for sure. Getting out of this GMC Terrain. So guys, let's go ahead and check out that power plant that we have here for this GMC Terrains. All right guys, so this we have to get a hood prong for this one here, so we can put this up here. All right guys, so here we got, this is basically a turbocharged engine. It's a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo producing 170 horsepower, 203 pound-feet of torque. Not a lot of power up, and this has made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Yeah, it's a base, and it's probably very good on fuel economy. I'll put those fuel economy numbers up on the screen for you guys. So not a bad little power plant. Obviously we'll see. Obviously I don't know much about the reliability of these vehicles, but it shouldn't be too bad. You know, if you maintain them well, you know, this should be pretty good to use. So all right guys, so that's it for the power plant of this GMC Terrain. So get that out, get that plugged in there, and drop the hood. There we go guys. So let's go ahead and get inside of this Terrain here. Of course we got the same type of cloth and the leather interior of the back here. You got a bit of a, it's like a copper stitching to me. Of course we got some more of that wood here along with your window and mirror controls. Of course you got a little extra pocket here and one more on the bottom there along with your speakers. Here you got the bit of aluminum trim for part of the dash, and as well it's just a little more of that stitching here for the dash, which is looks like it's feels pretty soft here. And of course here we got the same seats. They got a little bit of a, you know, decent side bolstering. These cloth seats, which are kind of grippy. Now remember, this one's got almost 96,000, well actually it's got 96,000 miles, so actually the wear on this seats are not bad at all. I mean, if you look at this interior, it's not that bad at all for being 96,000 miles. It's pretty decent shape. I don't see a lot of wear and tear on this part of the vehicle, so looks like these seats are holding up pretty well for this GMC Terrain. So all right guys, let's go ahead and get inside. All right guys, so we're inside here, the Terrain. Of course you got the key, which is pretty basic, obviously your GMC key. We're gonna put those down because obviously we do have automatic start and start. Let's go ahead and get this girl started. So we're gonna head and press the brake, and we got our stops on the steering wheel, get all the instrumentation going, and let's go ahead and get the door closed guys, because it's a little bit hot, and we're gonna get some AC of course going. So all right guys, so here inside of this Terrain, we got, you know, it's a pretty nice layout. It's a nice kind of like a little nice and low dash here, as you can see the design. Of course we got the leather cover steering wheel, which this feels pretty decent in your hands. Pretty basic. Of course you got all your, this kind of controls your center screen here. It's like a 5-inch screen here in the middle. Of course you got analog gauges, as you can see here. We got tachometer, speedometer, your basic hotness and gas. This screen of course here shows you trip B, of course, you know, your fuel your fuel consumption, oil life. We got tire pressure, which is nice, that includes that. Obviously you got a timer, speed, of course you got a digital speedometer, and of course the trip. So as you can see here in the bottom, 96,000, actually 471 miles in this GMC Terrain. So she's got some miles on her. Here in the middle, of course, we got a bit of aluminum trim here, also some more stitching here, that orange or that copper kind of stitching, and a little more of that wood faked or wood plasticky trim here, but it doesn't look too bad actually. And looking at this seat there, it's pretty nice. I mean, there's no type of wear and tear. This is actually been well taken care of. Here in the middle, of course, you got, this is your basic 7-inch screen here with the GMC entertainment or infotainment, which is pretty nice to the touch. As you can see, this has got no type of navigation, but it does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Of course you got audio, phone, you can put the phone settings, go back to home, and we'll touch the audio here for a second. So not bad. Obviously it's got a pretty, yeah, it's okay system. This is probably gotta have 6 speakers, give or take, for this base model. Some seek buttons here, home button, and of course you got your phone, and of course the volume here. Your hazards here in the middle, And of course you got, this is a single zone AC, and that's pretty simple. There's no seat heaters or anything like that. Of course here at the bottom, this is kind of interesting because you got your gear selectors here. This is the first time I've been in a GMC SUV, and of course these are kind of, you gotta press, and this is, you gotta press of course your brake, but you press and you kind of pull up and or press. This both of you press, this one's kind of you pull, and of course here you got your load with some, I guess, some gear selections here. So it's kind of interesting. I kind of worked a little bit. It's not too bad, but you can get pretty used to it. It's not a bad design, I believe. So here at the bottom, of course, you got some extra storage. You got 2 USB connections, an auxiliary, and a 12-volt, of course, cup holders. And we got a little bit of this is basically your downhill descent control, and this is some sort of modes here. Looks like some sort of snow, and this is basically your active, I will say your active either cruise control or something like that. So as being a base model, this also should have some, you know, some of the features like lane departure or something like that. I'll give you guys all those details in the description of the video or up here on the screen. So but very basic. It's not bad. Obviously you got a little bit extra storage here. There is a little bit of storage pin, as you can see here, but there is absolutely no, there's light, but there is no connections here at all. And there is a little bit of extra bin here for a phone or something like that here in the middle. And of course you got your glove box, which is pretty decently nice, and it's not bad at all. I mean, obviously here you got a bit of a gray roof here for cloth, and of course you got a sun holder, and of course here we got some lights here as well, which are LED. And of course you got your basically your on-star and off and passenger bag and some details. So there's no sunroof on this one at all. And of course here we get our mirror as well. So it's not bad at all, guys. I mean, it's a pretty decently, you know, optioned off, more of a base GMC Terrain. So, but it's not bad at all. I mean, looking at the wear and tear for this is pretty nice, and I'm looking at this does not look like a 96,000 mile, you know, it's pretty decently you know, actually pretty well taken care of SUV. Take this out for a spin and get this, see how this GMC Terrain drives. I'm not expecting this to be any type of, you know, I just got out of an M4, so this is going to be a little bit different. The seatbelt's a little bit, there we go. Seatbelt's a little bit tough, I don't know why, but so all right guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and get out for a test drive. So this is kind of just being a regular base suspension. It is a turbocharged engine with 203 pound-feet of torque, going to the 9-speed automatic transmission. Of course, that's going to the front wheels. So all right guys, so we're on the brake. We're gonna go and just kind of select D. The lock's gonna lock, and we're off, guys. So let's go ahead and get to drive this. Oops, oh man, this bike's a little bit sensitive. Just putting up my seats here. Obviously the just a quick note, the steering wheel is manually adjusting, telescoping and right height adjusted steering wheel. So but it is manual, but at least you got some adjustments to that. And let's go ahead guys and get this one out for a spin. So I've driven, of course, a GMC truck, but I have a GMC Canyon. That's the only one I've driven, but it's the first time I'm actually driving any type of GMC SUV. So I'm kind of eager to see. This is a turbocharged engine. Of course, a lot of domestic and also some Japanese ones are heading towards turbocharged 4 cylinders. We'll see how this one does. So, and that feels pretty quiet. Yeah, the brakes have a little bit sensitive. Actually, I just touched them, but that's just easier to get used to. So I left this digital speedometer, guys, so you guys can see the type of speed we're climbing into here. So, and let's see how this GMC behaves on the road. So we got no traffic coming. The brakes pretty decently quick. It does, you can feel the torque of the turbocharged engine. Those 203 pound-feet of torque is gonna be a pretty 3,500 somewhere around there of RPM, but it doesn't feel, obviously, it's got some torque. I don't, you know, obviously it doesn't feel very quick, but it's very decent enough. You know, feels plenty for every day for city driving. That's plenty of power. And I'm sure this is pretty efficient as well. So let's check out the brakes a little bit. Yeah, the brakes don't feel bad. I mean, obviously they feel a little bit touchy at basically not much speed, But now heading up here, it's not too bad. And obviously the handling is yeah, it's an artificial steering. It's pretty light, but it doesn't feel horrible. Do a little bit of adjusting of the mirror here, guys. So there we go. But this GMC doesn't feel, I mean, it feels very good. It's quiet, very comfortable ride, to be honest. Very, you know, the steering is pretty, it's actually, the directness is not bad at all. There's not much feeling to it, but it's got pretty decent steering, to be honest. The steering wheel feels good. It's got some like a leather interior to it, but it feels very good in your hands, and not bad at all. Of course, that's everything else. Everything's right here are your fingertips. Of course, you got the radio right here. Of course, you got everything right here at your very easy reach, and that's not bad at all. I mean, this is pretty decent. I wasn't expecting it this nice, and this was being an 86,000 mile one. There are no rattles. I mean, of course, we haven't come up to a very shaky road or a very rough road, but obviously, you know, it's not too bad. It doesn't feel like it handles bad. Let's check out this power plant. Yeah, I mean, for torque, I mean, it doesn't feel, it's got a little bit of torque steer to it, you can tell, but it doesn't feel bad. I mean, for every day, I mean, I'm sure if you're gonna get more people in this and tow some stuff, or it's gonna get a little heavier, yeah, it might not be plenty, it might need power. You want to step up into you can try either the diesel engine, it's got a lot more torque, or the 252 horsepower 4-cylinder turbo, so that's gonna have plenty more power. So, but this is for your base, is not bad. This has got to be around 25-26 miles combined, maybe like 21-22 in the city, 27-28 in the highway. I'll put those numbers up, guys, on the screen for you. But you know, it doesn't feel bad. I mean, it's kind of light, a little bit over your assisted steering, but it's not bad. It's just have you know, does kind of go where you point the terrain, so point the SUV. So it's not bad at all. It's pretty quiet, and that's actually pretty quiet. There's a little bit of road noise, but the tires are quiet. This is riding on some, I'll tell you that I forgot I think it's 225 still around, but it's an interesting tire manufacturer. I'll put those details on the video, guys. But very quiet. I'm surprised there's no rattles. There's nothing in that. You know, this is an 86,000 mile, almost 96.5, and it's quiet. There's no rattles. There's nothing. You know, I'm pretty shocked that this GMC still feels this solid at this type of mileage. So, and I know everybody complains. I'm sure this is not the most you know, powerful one here, but interior wise is nice. The 9-speed automatic feels very smooth, and so we're gonna, guys, take a quick turn here. Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but you can punch it here, the 9-speed. I mean, yeah, it's not anything quick or anything like that, but it's got plenty of power for that, and obviously doesn't feel bad at all. Not bad at all for being a nice softy SUV. So, and obviously you know, the steering, the handling, yeah, this is top heavy, but you know, no, it's not, you know, pretty for what it is. It feels very good, quiet. It is smooth. Power plant's plenty of power for every day, and I don't know, man, it's pretty impressive for what you're getting. I don't recall the price, but this is gotta be, I'll put the price for you guys. There's gotta be, I would say, in the high 20s, low 30s, considering how the prices of cars are nowadays. But you know, for that price, it's not bad. I mean, you get a pretty roomy SUV, decent power, very smooth transmission, but front-wheel drive, obviously, so this is more of a city type of vehicle. And it's got plenty of room in the back, plenty. It's pretty good size. This is I don't know if this is kind of compared to the size of a Ford Explorer. Kind of similar size feels to me, or more to a lower one, more of an Escape size. I don't know, this feels a tiny bit bigger than an Escape, if I were honest. So but it's not bad at all. I mean, the power plant feels, you know, you can see here, it's not breaking any numbers, but the torque feels very good. So in town, you get the torque's gonna feel excellent. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, it takes a little bit to get up, but for every day, for a family that's looking for a little bit of a good size SUV and some decent fuel economy, especially nowadays with the gas reaching pretty high, I think this is not a bad choice. And the GMC Terrain is much better than I expected, especially with this type of mileage, and it's pretty quiet, and you know, it looks like it's been well maintained. So yeah, no, it's pretty smooth. I mean, I've been more impressed with it. So it turns in well, quiet. I mean, that's what it does. This is, you know, a basic, straight out, you know, nothing fancy, just basically what an SUV needs to be. It needs to be, you know, comfortable, decent power. So finishing up this conclusion of this GMC Terrain, it's not a bad SUV, very nice, very comfortable, quiet. I would recommend something like this, somebody for like a, you know, young family that needs something a little more on a budget that's, you know, fuel efficient. It's got plenty of room. Perfect SUV. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I appreciate it, everybody who has subscribed so far. But let's, guys, you know what, let's go check, guys. We have one more thing to do, and let's go ahead and grab and check out that reverse camera that I haven't showed you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know, press this back. We got the reverse camera. It does have a trajectory line. It's a very simple one. Obviously this turns it off and on, but I will turn that on, as you can see, guys. So we're just going to get that one in. It's not a bad camera. I mean, it's got pretty decent graphics to it. There is no type of there are no sensors or anything like that, so it basically just gives you just a basic camera for reversal. So we're gonna put this back in park, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.